What's up, everybody? This is me, Vincent Zeng, the Wandering Warrior. Last week, you guys saw me and Max Khaihra of Boston Jingwu talk about 弹腿. What is 精武弹腿, right? Now, this week, we're going to break down the applications of 弹腿第一路, the first road of 弹腿, for you guys. First, let's review 弹腿 Road 1. Now that we've reviewed the first road, let's take a look at some of the applications. Let's dive into it. 侧拳 right in the beginning, side, fist, right? Boom. What are we working with here?
Okay, so the way I learned it, our applications, we'll just go ahead and show you. So if you just start feeding me punches, so just start feeding, boom. So I've got a little bit of this going on. We'll go here, I'm catching, striking. Yeah, so
when these kind of strikes come in, it's oftentimes really good to get offline and get them offline. So if he comes this way, right? Boom, boom, right? So if he comes in, even with a lead, just a really heavy lead, I keep myself safe, bam, hitting. The way I was taught was like, oh, this, even though it looks sort of stiff and impractical in the form, if you take it just like a snapshot of movement, actually, we see this in boxing all the time, right? If I'm here, if I have the angle, I can just bang, and I'm in. Bruce Lee. You see this type of movement in Jeet Kune Do all the time. As a one-off move is pretty useful, right? So the way I was taught was that, say that jab comes in, throw something in, and then I have a straight shot, right? It could be the other way, right? You can combine, just use it interchangeably. This. It's just get that thing offline, cover yourself, pop. That's the basic lesson.
And a lot of the northern stuff as well, you know, it's all about striking, connecting. So go for the bridges and then kind of closing, finishing with the throws and stuff like this. So we can chain off on that as well. So even though it's technically not in the forms, we can go into, like, say, if we're punching through, it's the same thing. Boom, and then the wrist locks. I can strike again, trip through, which is also one of the original ways of practicing Danto was this foot staying here and then coming through. So we have this sort of stuff. So that's one of the many applications that we kind of look at. Anyone does Mantis boxing or anything from Shandong province has probably seen this stuff over and over and over again, right? Danto did originally come from there. Yeah, and I think that changed a lot when it got standardized in Jingwu. To kind of become this all-encompassing thing. Yeah, for sure. That's like an old school way of teaching it. I've also seen somebody kind of take like a grappler's mentality towards this. I think there's scenarios where it could work, but they'll suggest something like, oh, if you come, try to grab me here, I'm going to 1, 2, and then that punching motion is. Not saying it's impossible, just saying this and this look a little different. That's a lock. There's nothing wrong with that as a lock, right? So after that, after we have Session, we get into this. That quickly becomes Chōng, right? I guess charging fist, rushing fist. What do we have there? So a couple variations in striking perspective. So if I'm here and you're throwing a body shot, you're hovering up, coming through. And then from a grappling perspective, so say if you're punching this hand, I'm coming through, one, body shot coming in, covering, striking through. Or if we're punching this side, coming in, it's cow.
I can see arguments for either, especially if we look at like old school Western pugilism, French savate. They did a lot of this type of stuff too, because a lot of their fight theory was also based in fencing. So like, what kind of punch do I have that gives me the perfect straight line? Right? So you had boxers back in the day punching like that too, where if you got the line on somebody, boom, right? Because you're trying to create the longest, straightest shot that you can. I'd probably guard my face a little as I do it, right? But as a principle of pulling one side back as you push another side forward, pretty solid.
Yeah.
You guys can probably guess, I already have a wrestling bias. If you got this overhand right coming in, and I, bang, oh, I'm in a good position for this now, right? Oh shit, right, I'm here, and Tuīshǒu, right? Put your hand, we come across like this before we then do our Tiāo, boom, and then so on and so forth. What do you got for me there?
Okay, so again, what I was taught, it's more of like an old school like strangulation. So this could either be, hold it here, strangling here. So going for the strangle, one, I'm stepping back, one, I'm hitting through.
Okay.
So again, breaking that grip a little bit with the step back, come up, hit through the solar plexus, groin, whatever you
an upwards
swing.
Upward swing.
Yeah, that's a good like a basic solid thing to get out of. Like even like school bullies.
Yeah.
Usually this is like a go-to thing.
So like wrench that away.
Yeah. Move it back. There's some kind of cover. Again, if they're just on the throat, it's not the strongest of grips. So that little downward pressure just gives you enough space.
Pry it apart.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I've got two for you. Maybe three. There's some that say that this is an elbow. Which is fine.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like, boom, this didn't happen. You stepped out, but you're still close to me, right? Bang. Okay, could be, right? And then after that, it's like clear the hands, and it's the same way that you described. Another way I've seen this is, especially in Taiwan, I've seen this quite a bit, is if, say I've gotten to this side already and it's too close to come this way where I get jammed up, no problem. I come over here, so this becomes this, and then the swing through, right? Over here, bang, this doesn't work. I come over here, and it's either I just swing this up and swing this down, right? Or if you're shorter, just the positioning is lower, and I end up coming here, right? And could be, not against it. This is what always made sense to me. For me, it's like, okay, if I get stuck here, instead of switching position, I'm gonna keep what I got 2-on-1, right? So I'm just gonna go into that frame, that position, boom, and that brings him over. Which leads us to this, energy, right? So, what are we dealing with there? There seems to be a lot of disagreement over this between different lineages, and I'm not saying that they're all right or all wrong, because actually there's a lot of violent stuff.
So like traditional is like stump punch, boom, here, and that opens up. That can be done with the side through,
Like that.
boom, this way. I'm less like, I just don't feel like that's a strong bridge to follow up with. And I don't think they're going to be committing that hard, me personally. I actually use this for my Sanda students a lot. Again, kind of off to the side, it's not the exact move, but scooping with the kick. So if you're kicking to this side, I'm coming to here. So I'm using that scooping motion.
Some people say this is a kick. Some people say this is a sweep. Some people say that this is like a shin kick. Some people have used it almost like a check kick. Like if their foot starts coming over, like boom, check it. I'm not against any of that because any of that can be effective. Like if we're in the middle of fighting shin kicks, like they do their thing. It's almost like a jab, right? I'm not against any of that. For me, if we go through that, I think I'm gonna pick that over here. This didn't work. I go into the Tuīshǒu, boom, around. If I pass and swing under and then come up under with this swing, I'm here. If I fall through that motion, I bounce you, and then if I stick the foot out. It's a sweep. This is for me. This is how I've used Tan Tui as I learned. Personally, I don't necessarily think of it as right or wrong. I'm not dogmatic about Tan Tui. I'm pragmatic. How does it serve you and your ability to be more athletic, healthier, and a good fighter? Now, you could take it more as Sun Fa, body method, and say that every single move in Tan Tui is helping you train your Bu Fa, footwork, your Jia, your frame, and your Fa Ji, your applied power. You could also take it in the direction of Tan Tui being a chain of movements, a chain of techniques, right? A fighting combination. That's valid as well. Resist. I hope you guys like that combined effort between me and Max Khaihra of Boston精武in showing you guys the applications of Tan Tui Road 1. Shout out to him and everything he represents. Guys, if you're in the Boston area, Massachusetts in general, please check him out. Also, he's my strength coach. He's the one I vouch for. So you want to up your gains, hit him up. Also, I want to thank my creative consultant, Dan McCarthy, for the video editing that you saw here with the various vectors of force and the Fa Jin and the frame and all that good stuff. Guys, his information is down below as well. If you guys enjoyed that, please like, share, subscribe, and consider supporting me on Patreon. Also, for those who want to really up their fighting abilities in the traditional Chinese martial arts fashion, please sign up for the waitlist down below for the Practical Tan Tui online course. Now, Practical Tan Tui, 实用弹腿, is all about taking the Jingwu 12 roads, formulating it in such a way on an online format that is accessible and efficient as far as transmitting Northern Chinese boxing fight know-how into you and your mind, body, and spirit. You're gonna like the course I'm designing. In any case, as always, thank you for joining me on my journey. I salute yours. Peace.